Alright. Alright. So I already talked about all the bullshit that happened on Monday. Let me turn my computer on while I'm doing this. So, I'm like, alright. Today was a pretty decent work day. I mean, it was uneventful, which is, you know, what you can, all you can really ask for when you're working retail. I'm trying really hard to be quiet because everyone's in bed, including the dog, and I don't want to wake the dog up, because then I'll have to watch her, and I don't want to watch the dog. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. It's 10:42 p.m. right now. So, you know, I'm on the register today, which it hasn't been happening to me recently. So I'm kind of bored, you know, I'm fucking around on my phone in between customers, you know, and I happen to look up as this group of people is coming into the store tonight, and one of the people makes direct eye contact with me, and she smiles, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, it's that bitch from Monday night, our very nice good friend who ruined my entire day. And so everybody's DMing me on Discord. And so she comes right over to me. She makes a beeline for me because she recognizes me. I don't know why I was surprised by this. I mean, so I'm like, hi, look, how can I help you today? Like, hoping to God that maybe because I'm a little bit face blind, I'm like hoping like maybe this is just a really weird coincidence. And maybe she's just really confident. And she's like, so you sold me some fish on Monday. And I'm like, uh-huh. And she plops this bag down on the table, and it's got this poor fucking goldfish who is like covered in ammonia burns. Like, this fish is practically dissolved alive. And it's alive. It's still wiggling, but it's only got like half a tail. It's covered all over in ammonia burns. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck did you do to this fish? And she's like, so it's been really acting weird all today, all yesterday. And I'm like, I can see that. And I said quite a few times while I was telling Monday's story that I'm not an asshole, but I'm a little bit of an asshole. Because what I did was I was like, you know, she was like, you know, what do you think it could be? And I know that it's really bad ammonia burns, or it's chlorine burns. It's burns of some kind. It's really bad. Either she didn't condition the water properly, which is true, or there's just so much ammonia in that tank after 2 days that the fish are blistering. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a second opinion on this, actually. If you take this fish and you go down to the aquatic section, I'm gonna page somebody to meet you back there, and he's gonna help you out with that. Because the guy who was the aquatics manager before me happened to be in tonight. And I feel bad for sicking her on him like that, but people tend to listen to him when they don't listen to me. And so I thought maybe, you know, naively, I thought maybe he'll be able to talk some sense into this woman. About half an hour later, he comes up to me and he's got this look on his face. Like, I can tell, like, he's got the mask on, but I can see from his eyes that he's been through some shit. And I'm like, are you having fun? And he's like, this woman is batshit fucking insane. And he was like, she's telling me you told her stuff that I know you didn't tell her. She's telling me Rachel told her stuff I know she didn't tell her. She's saying that you told her to do everything. And I'm like, absolutely not, I didn't. I told her not to do it, and she really wanted to, and eventually I just let her go. Because, what am I gonna do? And so he has to go grab Rachel, and they both have to go back there. I was on register the entire time, so I didn't actually see a lot of the exchanges between the two of them. But eventually she comes back, and I should mention too, this entire time, she's got her 2 kids with her. And they're like, I keep wanting to say they're my age, but they're like high school. They're like probably seniors in high school. And they look like they're really not happy to be there. Not unhappy enough to tell their mom to cut it out, but unhappy enough to be giving each other looks every 30 seconds. And so she comes up to my register, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And she, you know, she slams down, you know, ammonia neutralizer, water conditioner, clarifier, ick treatment, fungal treatment, filter cartridges, food, aquarium salt, like all kinds of, and I can tell that Brian just like pretty much swept his arm down the shelf of the medication section of the fish aisle and then handed it all to her. Like, take this shit. And she's also got a new fish in a bag. And it's actually not a comet, it's a fancy goldfish. And I breathe a little sigh of relief because fancy's really not that much better, but they have shorter bodies, they're a little bit more compact, and they're not going to be as stunted in a small tank as a comet would be. It's, you know, it's a small victory. It's a really small victory, but it's a victory. And I'm checking her out for it, and she's like, okay. And I get to the total, and I'm like, all right, your total's 56 something. I don't know how I remember that. And she's like, okay, so can you do the 20% for me? And I'm like, She's like, you know, my 20% coupon. And I said, I just used it for you on Monday. I can't use the same coupon twice. We've been over this. And she says, no, because you didn't tell me that I needed all of these supplies the first night. I want to retroactively add them to my purchase and still get that same discount that you gave me. And I'm like, that's not how it fucking works. And I tell her, like, we can't do that. Like, I'm fed up with her shit right now at this point. And I literally tell her straight up, like, man, we can't do that. We weren't even supposed to do what we did for you on Monday. Like, this is not something we do. You already used the coupon once. I cannot honor it for you again. She's like, well, can you just get your manager? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go fucking get her. And so I go down to Rachel's helping some poor innocent family find some dog food. And I'm just kind of standing there waiting for her to finish. And she turns over and she looks at me and she sees the look on my face and she's like, what? And I'm like, Rachel, do you remember our dear friend from Monday night? And her face just drops. And I'm explaining to her, like, you know, she wants me to do the same shit again. She got really pissed at me when I told her no. She's demanding that I get you specifically. And she's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I'm not doing this for her again. So she goes up there. And this woman is, like, demanding that we give her this 20% coupon. This coupon that she was so adamant that she had, it's actually an offer that's on our website. I can probably pull it up right now, but I don't really feel like giving Petco.com the clicks. It's an offer for 20% off your online purchase for buy online and pick up in store if you spend more than $50. That was her, that's, she just saw 20% off because those were the biggest letters. She's like, oh, okay. And she took a screenshot of it and she was demanding that we give it to her. And we're like, that's not how it fucking works. So Rachel's like, you know what? Here, if you order this stuff for a buy online and pick up in store order, we will honor it. You will get your discount and we will fill the order for you right in front of you. Like these exact items that you have in this checkout line right now. He will read off the item numbers to you, and I'm like, don't fucking implicate me in this. But she's like, he will read the item numbers off for you. You will enter them into the search bar on the website on your phone. You will hit add to cart, and then you will place the order for pickup. Once that comes through on our end, we will put it through. You will get your discount because we will not put it through on the register for you. That's not something we can do. And it takes me an entire 30 minutes to walk this woman through. I have to go through and read each and every single SKU, number by number, for her. And she puts it, and every single time she types it into the search bar, she doesn't hit enter. She's like, nothing's coming up. So I have to lean over, and I have to go to her phone, and I have to press the little search button for her. Then she's like, oh, okay. And I figured after the first time, I was like, oh yeah, maybe she doesn't know how the website works. No, she wanted me to do it for her every single time. Because she would just be like, it's still not working, and I would have to go over and I'd have to fucking press the button. I should have, like, at one point I should have, like, licked my finger and then put it on her phone or something, but I'm not that much of an asshole. And and then that would be really fucking gross, actually. I don't want to do that. And finally we get all the items in her cart, but because on our website the items are a lot cheaper, our website has a lot of discounts that we don't have in store because we're trying to compete with Amazon and Chewy and all those other websites. So her total was like 50 something in the store. Her total for the exact same items is like 30 something. So she's freaking out at me like, the discount's not working, the discount's not working. And I'm like explaining to her like, your total has to be over $50. So she's going through and she's just adding a bunch of shit. And it takes forever because she keeps picking items that we don't have in stock. And so it gives her an error. And she's like, why isn't it letting me do this? And I have to explain to her, we don't have that item right now. The website won't let you do it because we don't have it. So I have to go through. And at one point I had to like take her phone and look up goldfish food because she couldn't figure out how to type goldfish food into the search bar and hit enter. So eventually we get it all taken care of. She places her order. It goes through. It's like 7:45. This entire time, I've been having to use my register computer to scan each item so I can get the SKU. So I've not been able to check anybody else out. I still haven't checked her out for the fish that she's buying. The fish can't go through the online order because it's a fish. We don't sell fish on the website. So I have to, she goes to leave and I'm like, ma'am, I have to ring you up for this fish. She's like, oh yeah. And I'm ringing her up for the fish and she's like, you know, I am so sorry. Both times I've been in here, you guys have been through so much. And you know, I'm really not normally like this. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, if you were really sorry, when I told you we can't do that, you would have been like, oh, okay, sorry. Instead of being like demanding manager and making me literally hold your hand through the process of ordering something online. And then her order finally comes through on my end, on my little scan gun. And I'm like, okay, and I'm putting it through. And I noticed that she changed the size of one of the bottles of ammonia reducer from 4 ounces to 16 ounces. So I'm like, oh, it looks like you ordered the bigger size of this bottle. And she's like, yeah, it was more expensive. I wanted to bring the total up. And I'm like, okay, well, let me go grab that because you have the 4 ounce bottle here. So I go back there and I notice that she ordered 2. We only have one 16 ounce bottle. So I have to go and I have to put in a shortage and I have to reassure her 5 times that just because you're going to get refunded for this one item doesn't mean you're not getting your 20% off. And finally, she gets her shit and she leaves. And as she's leaving, she says, oh, don't worry, this goldfish is just a gift from my neighbor. It's not going in my tank. I'm starting to think this neighbor doesn't fucking exist. I really... If you're gonna lie to a pet store employee, just lie and keep that lie. If you're gonna walk into the store and say, I'm gonna tell them I have a 60-gallon tank so they'll give me 3 goldfish, and they give you the fish and you're ready to go, just say, okay, thanks, and leave. Make my life easier. If you're gonna lie, be consistent with your lie. Because the bullshit that I had to deal with the past 2 days, it's not fucking worth it for anyone. Like, this woman needed nothing. Like, I mean, I guess she gained a couple fish out of it, but like, it's like, there's no... She literally spent like 5 hours in the store over the past 3 days, on Monday and today, just fucking with us. I swear to God, I'm off tomorrow and Friday, thank fucking God. I'm somehow she has made me religious. If I show up on Saturday and I see that woman, I'm going to attack her like a rabid fucking animal. And no force in heaven or earth can fucking stop me. I'm going to ruin her life. I can't. I need to go to bed.